journalist Mohamed Fahmy is released overnight from an Egyptian prison. He spends his first night with family in more than a year. Fights between Ukraine and Russian-backed rebels break out again in eastern Ukraine in the wake of a new peace deal brokered by Germany and France. And Saturday Night Live celebrates its 40th anniversary on the air.
Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Trisha Chan, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. We have breaking news this hour. Toronto police have confirmed a death at the North Campus. Adam Stroud has the story.
Police were on campus yesterday after a Humber employee was found dead just after 6 a.m. Police say a coworker discovered the body of a security guard in his early 30s and notified authorities immediately. His name has not yet been released by police or Humber College.
It's obviously a very sad scenario, certainly one that none of us would have expected coming into work yesterday. As an extended member of the Humber community, we're all very saddened by it, and our thoughts and prayers are with the security guard's family and his extended Humber community and colleagues.
No foul play is suspected, and the man is said to have died of natural causes. Adam Stroud, Humber News.
Overseas, one day after being granted bail, Canadian journalist Mohamed Fahmy is free. He was picked up by his brother at a local police station around 4 a.m. Cairo time. Fahmy was in prison for more than 400 days. Adel Fahmy spoke to reporters yesterday after his brother was granted bail.
No, it's a release on bail, so there's a travel ban, obviously, and we just need now to, finish it off completely, and he's being vindicated now. So yeah.
Fahmy and his producer had been held by the government on charges related to terrorism and being a mouthpiece for the Muslim Brotherhood. While released on bail, Fahmy is still required to check in daily with Egyptian authorities and will be retried in court later this month. Fahmy was born in Egypt and is a naturalized Canadian citizen, but renounced his Egyptian status in hopes of being deported back home. Peace talks are over and a ceasefire has been negotiated, but fierce fighting is still going on in eastern Ukraine. Russian-backed rebels and Ukrainian forces are battling again today. A ceasefire is due to come into effect midnight Sunday. Ukraine says the number of shellings hasn't let up since the deal was reached yesterday. Russia denies that it has armed rebels in the lead up to the truce. The Taliban is claiming responsibility for an attack on a Shiite mosque that killed 19 people this morning. They released this video showing the men responsible, saying the attack was revenge. Police say the men broke into a mosque in a Pakistani city during prayer and opened fire. A series of explosions followed when suicide bombers triggered the blast. This is the latest attack in Pakistan by radical Sunni Muslims against the minority Shiites. To New Zealand now, where nearly 200 whales are stranded off the north coast. Rescuers are battling to save more than 170 pilot whales that beached themselves. Around 25 have already died, and more are expected to succumb as night falls. Rescuers and volunteers say they will resume their attempts in the morning. Here at home, the first new case of mad cow disease in years has been confirmed in Alberta. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says no part of the animal has entered animal feed or the human food system. This is Canada's third confirmed mad cow disease since 1993. The last confirmed mad cow case in Canada was reported in 2011. The CFIA says the new case shouldn't harm Canadian beef exports. Time for some celebrations now. Canada's most iconic maple leaf flag turns 50 on Sunday. Prime Minister Lester Pearson first unveiled the new flag in 1964, causing a national controversy. But Pearson managed to convince the majority of Parliament to vote in favor of the red maple leaf. Liberal leader Justin Trudeau and former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien will be in Mississauga to celebrate the birthday this weekend. Moving to the lighter side, Saturday Night Live is celebrating its 40th anniversary on Sunday. Fan favorite hosts, musical guests, and cast members will return to the legendary Studio 8H for a 3.5-hour special, live of course. This week, SNL released some favorite moments from the show.
Please identify yourself. Too wild and crazy guys! We want to pump you up.
Pretty young, Willie. Party on, Garth. No one can resist my sweaty balls.
And if there's one thing that everyone can agree on, it's that everyone disagrees on SNL's funniest moment. Humber students can kick back and watch some of their favorite SNL moments in the coming days because Reading Week has arrived. Tonight, students can begin celebrating a week away from the classroom. We sent reporter Hannah Hollingsworth to see what students are doing with their time off.
So are you doing anything special for Reading Week this year?
Just probably try and study, at least say I'm studying.
So I'll probably be putting studying for the entire duration of the reading week, repeatedly, reading books and things of that nature. I might go out and do some little retail therapy perhaps,
A huge rest, maybe 10 hours of rest, and just wake up at 1 p.m.
It's all about study. So I will study all my 7 days, the reading week, catch up on everything.
Hopefully a little partying, who knows, and a Valentine's date. So yeah.
With still a few hours left before Reading Week, some Humber students are lining up for some last-minute Valentine's Day treats. We sent reporter Abida Donji to get the delicious scoop.
Cookies and donuts and cupcakes. Oh my! With Valentine's Day less than a day away, the Humber community headed down to the concourse at the North Campus for a bake sale by Humber's Child Care Center. All the goodies were prepared for those that were on campus to buy for themselves and their sweethearts. Daisy Molina and Shannon Francescuti, registered early childhood educators, say they've been working around the clock to get ready.
It took a couple of days. We've been kind of putting it together over the last few days, packaging everything and baking it. So it took a while.
Molina says the proceeds raised will be going towards helping Humber's Child Care Center.
We're fundraising for educational books, toys, and just working together collaboratively to do that for them.
If you missed the bake sale this time around, make sure to look out for another one later this semester so you can fulfill your sweet tooth craving. Abida Donji, Humber News.
Not all Valentines are as sweet as those goodies. You've got some horror stories of your own. Here's some of your best and worst Valentine memories.
Something really simple. We went to Walmart, said we had a $15 limit. What's the craziest, most fun things you can find? And then we just went home that evening and played around with these little toys and watched random movies. And it was just really fun and special.
Probably a couple years ago where I went out with my girlfriend to see a movie and then dinner.
Worst Valentine's Day ever was 2.5 years ago with my ex because he took me to a restaurant. I got sick, I threw up, and he laughed at me the whole time.
My best Valentine's Day would be probably last year when I met this girl and we had a good time at the movies.
I didn't get a good enough gift for my girlfriend at the time, and she chased me out of the house, and then I put my hand out of the door and she kicked it shut and I broke my hand.
Meanwhile, in the Philippines, women are getting groovy for a pre-Valentine's Day celebration. As part of a global call against gender violence and discrimination. 1 Billion Rising is an international campaign held every February 14th to end violence against women. About 5,000 Filipino students took part in the celebration. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Christina Succi will have your 3-day forecast.
Thanks, Trisha. Yes, Environment Canada did issue an extreme cold weather alert today, with our high being at -11, but it's going to feel more like -19. We'll have all that and more, including your full 3-day forecast, coming up after the break.
But first, while some women are taking a stand against violence, others are lining up to see it. The opening weekend of 50 Shades of Grey is shaping up to be one of the biggest movie events of the year. Whips, change, and emotional abuse has never been so appealing. As fans of the franchise praise the trilogy for its kinky sexual content, a lot of critics are labeling it anti-feminist.